Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so this is another episode of, a rundown of what the previous month was like. And we're talking about March, the month of March. It's very important to note that these numbers I give, or these numbers I'm presenting, uh, there are certain factors that precedes them, like certain things were put into place. So for you, it might not really work that way. Just fine. Just find the process that works for you. That's the whole point. But this is more like a snippet or a peek into what it might be like for a person who is looking to join, or a person who decides to follow a certain particular method or procedures that I may have laid out at some point. Okay? So, without further ado, first week. So it was actually 5 weeks in the month of March, but I did work for 4 weeks. Easter was the last Sunday of the month. I was unavailable. So for 4 weeks, the first week, this is what happened. Um, it was 75. That was on gross and 50 on net. Okay. Second week was 76. That was on gross and 51 on net. And then the next week was 66. That was horrible. It was horrible. It wasn't that horrible. It's just that was around the week when the Muslims started their fast. So it seemed like movement was kind of tight. Not tight, just non-existent as much, due to the fast, I would think. So that was 66 in that day. It was even supposed to be 70, but there was some here and there commission payment and whatnot. So yeah, 66 was the third week, and the fourth week was 71. Okay? Still in the spirit of the fast, things were not moving as it ought to or as expected. But all in all, I could still say that was a pretty good month, because I was also able not to work in the weekday, which was always been my goal, my plan, my dream. I just worked the one time in a week, and I was able to achieve it last month. Sorry. So, but let's see what let's see how the next month is, if I'm able to keep up with it. Now, here are some of the factors that you should know about, or you should consider, that I personally put into place. Mind you, these numbers are, first of all, they're facts, okay? There's no point in blowing up the numbers. No. First of all, they're fact. Secondly, they, they could be more. They really could be more. Like, there've been days that I think the highest I've ever grossed was somewhere around 79 or 81, something around that figure. It could be more, it's what I'm trying to say. It could also be less. Pretty much okay, depending on how long you're willing to work. Now, here are some factors that I put into place before I get started in a day. First of all, my tank is always filled up with the amount of fuel I would need for the entire day. I never stop to buy fuel while at work, while in work, while working. Secondly, I work once a week. See, that's different. Okay, the wears and the tears that might occur in my own vehicle would be very different for you if you work more times in a week. You get? So I may not have to make so much repairs in my car as much as you might if you do work a lot more. Thirdly, I work way into the night. I start early and I work way past 12 hours. All right? I start somewhere around 7, maybe 8. On average, I think I'll call it 8. And then I stay out till almost 12 midnight before I call it a day. Thirdly, I work on Sundays. Not Friday, not Saturday, not Monday, not any other day, just Sunday. So these are some of the factors you also need to consider while you are thinking of my numbers as well. Okay, so it might be different for you depending on the day of the week you work, depending on how you buy your fuel, depending on how frequently you drive, depending on the hours you spend in the work. Okay, so you may decide to go to work maybe 3 times a week and still average or gross around the same numbers I'm grossing because you don't work as long and you don't work as well frequent. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, lastly, I just wanted to put this out there. Okay, this is something you should understand. Sometimes I go on I go on YouTube and I see some of the YouTubers who are also in the business, and there seems to be a lot of complaint going on. Not that everything is all cherry and butterfly, but you need to understand this is supposed to be like a part-time hustle. It's not necessarily the main thing. Okay? It's supposed to be like I have a car, I need some money, why not? Right? Instead of sitting around and insisting that conditions must be better, conditions must be better, they must favor us, they must think of the drivers, they must and all that. Not necessarily. If it's working for you, it's working for you. If it's not working for you, find a different thing. The ride sharing or the ride hailing industries, they're not the government of your country. Go cry to your government if that's how badly you feel. Do you get? This is your cry. It's not really going to change their policy. I mean, we had a whole moment of strike at one point for them to cut down their commissions. They didn't. You understand? They're not the government. They're just a business entity, and they would act as any other business enterprise would. Do you get? So if you intend to do it with the mind of, bro, just get the best out of it. Get the best out of it. The complaint is not going to help much. So just get the best out of it. I mean, I'm a very prime example because I've made no secret of the fact that I would definitely encourage people to go offline if they can manage it, okay? Not in a rude way. Always I say this. Don't fight with the person if they don't want to go offline. That's fine, okay? Just let it be. Just let it go smoothly, okay? Don't get into altercations because of that. Because you need to make the most out of every situation, okay?